Hi everybody. Okay, I think it's episode 7, and it'll probably be a short one, because I really don't know what I'm doing today. I was thinking last night when I had done this, and I really liked it, but I didn't like it just plain on there, so I got some cheesecloth out, and I sprayed it with Lindy's Creme Brulee Cream. It has a little tiny bit of a gold shimmer in it. It's a Starburst, so it is shimmery, but it just takes off. Like if I show you the white, you can see what a huge difference. And I don't like things stark white, so I just sprayed a little bit, and I want to place that on there, but I'm wondering if I want something else too, so sit that there. And let's see, maybe a little piece of flat ribbon or something. What do I have? What can I put on there? I have a bowl full of little bits and pieces. I don't know if there's anything on. Oh, that one's already done. That one's tea stained. Sometimes it's a little bit not worth having a bowl full of stuff, you know, because it's just all jumbled in there. I have a little bit of what else do I have? Oh, that's rather pretty. I should put that in the book. Leave that out. Not sure I'm going to end up finding anything in here, but you never know. Oh, that's cute. Let's dump it out. See what I've got in here. That little piece. No. Oh, that's pink. Here's a little doohickey. That might work. I don't even know where this came from. I think somebody tied a parcel up with this. And you know, I don't throw too much out, as you can see. I've got some braid too. That's pretty. Okay, let's get that in there. That's pretty too. It's kind of pink. Oh, that's garbage. Angie made this, which I thought was really pretty, but I wanted it for something special. That's pretty too. And that'll be for the upcoming steampunk journal that I plan on doing. Nope. Definitely not the green. Should have that in my pull-out thing. You know what? These ribbons come off of your clothes. You know, sometimes they put ribbon on them when you're hanging them. So, yeah, I don't waste anything. It's good ribbon. And it's generally a pretty decent size. And these, the white, you can spray them or ink them. Make them any color you want. I mean, even something like that. I actually did spray that one for something. I don't know what. But those pieces are good. And, oh, that's kind of cool. Ooh. Obviously I'd cut it, but that is really cool. Yeah, I think I might use that. Excuse me. I've got some more of it too. This was some trim that someone mailed to me. Super neat. And I've been cutting out this part of it, which I like. But I love this meshy part. It's very neat. Okay, so I'll leave that out because I do want that. So I'll leave those out. Oh, got a tab. Didn't know I had that. Or how it got in there, for that matter. Muslin, that's what this is called. Sometimes it comes to me. Okay, so I'll set that aside. And let's clip that off. And that off. That's right side. And let's clip this one off. It's all about placement. That's rather nice. I'm going to use that. I think I might want to trim that down a bit though. Turned into a gorgeous day today. A little bit of fog, but that's clearing up now. that. So I do want some of the paper showing. And then that's the wrong side. So as you can tell, there's a lot of fussy stuff going on. Till I like the look. No. It's not too bad. I might need to kind of step back from it for a few minutes. And then kind of decide if that's going to work for me at all, you know? Sometimes you just have to do that. I think it's just too much, personally. Maybe I should if I put a little there and a little there, and get that off there. Come here, you. There. And let's see. Oh, that's better. Okay. And then of course I'll cut it back. So let's move this and this. Lay that down there, and I'm going to do some glue. Okay, I think that's good. Then let's set that aside. I'm just going to put some glue on the stringy parts. Depending on the medium that you're working with, if you don't overglue, you might be able to move it if you don't like it, you know, where you'd placed it. Okay. Let's see now. That looks like the wrong side to me. Yep, it is. Some lace is very hard to tell right and wrong. Okay, that's nice. So, let's chop it off down here because we don't need all that bulk. Put a little dab of glue there too. Okay. Now, yeah, right there. All right. Then this one. Make sure that's the right side. Yeah, it is. Ah, like that. Okay, chop that off. I watched a pretty funny video today on, I think it was Facebook, and it was this blogger, travel blogger, and he was basically talking about Canada and how he loves to travel in Canada, and it was the top 10 things you would be surprised at with Canada. So of course I had to read it. And it was fairly accurate, I have to say. He was pretty good. He'd traveled to Canada quite a bit from when he was a kid. So he brings his family now. And just some of the stuff that he was saying, you know, like Canadians might not be, or Americans might not be aware of, or people in general, really, coming from anywhere. But it was funny, the part that I found funny was the responses from Canadians. Because he made some comments about, well, one, how friendly Canadians are. Well, yeah, maybe to tourists, but yeah, depending on where you live, I suppose. Yeah, West Coasters sometimes, like I'm a West Coaster, and I'm always shocked at how manners don't seem to be used very much, you know. Yeah, we say sorry all the time. We do. We're Canadian. We do. We don't necessarily mean it, but we say it. It's just sort of ingrained in us. And yeah, I mean, if you know Canadians at all, I mean, I've said sorry, but yeah, pretty sarcastically at times. So having people say they're sorry doesn't necessarily mean they really mean it. But he was pretty accurate. Mind you, I haven't been too many places in Canada. I've been to Nova Scotia and Alberta, but that's it. I haven't traveled anywhere else in Canada, so I'm no expert on what goes on in different provinces, but each province has its own good and bad, like any place in the world, you know. Yeah, I guess Canadians are known for being very polite and helpful, and, you know, we kind of pride ourselves on that. We like being that way because we consider pretty much everybody in this country a foreigner, because we are. And so, I don't know. I mean, if I can help somebody, I will. And I think most people in Canada are like that. And probably because they've had help from somebody in the past. So, nothing wrong with being polite. And there's nothing wrong with being kind. It doesn't make you weak. I think it's a great strength. And some of the stuff he was talking about, you know, one of the big misconceptions that people have with Canada is that it's a wasteland of cold. That always makes me laugh because literally I had been asked on holidays, I was in the United States, and I had been asked, is it true that Canadians live in igloos? And I am not joking, they were not joking. They were serious. And like at first I kind of looked at him and I thought he was kidding, but looking at his face I thought, no, he's not kidding, he means it. And so I said, no, I've never even seen an igloo, and I'm very fortunate to live in a province that actually has 4 seasons. There are provinces that have 2. If they have fall, it's like 5 minutes, and then you're right into winter. But no, we have 4 seasons, 3 months each, pretty much. I mean, you get the odd year where, yeah, it's not so nice. This year in Alberta, they're suffering. They got snow really early this year, and it was bad. Our son lives in Alberta, and he said they got 20 centimeters, which is like amazing how much snow that is in one day. The beauty of Alberta is it rarely sticks. Like, it rarely stays for any length of time until they're right in winter. And then, yes, then it's cold. And although their cold is way different than our cold, I have to admit, our winters here are wet. We don't get a lot of snow. The mountains, yes, because we actually have great skiing here. Which I found kind of funny. One of the comments that somebody had left, they said, yeah, they worked at a gas station, and I think it was in Ontario. And they were at a gas station, and an American drove up with a snowmobile in the back of his truck. And he says, where's all the snow? Well, it was in summer that he actually came. And if you've been to Ontario, from what I hear, I have a friend who's from there, or lived there for many years, it's brutally hot in the summertime. And he had a snowmobile on the back of his truck. I thought that was just too funny. So he's dead serious and says to the guy, oh, just keep going north. He'd end up in Alaska. That's pretty much where the snow would be. So please don't think that Canada is all about snow, because it really isn't. And if you plan a trip, to Canada, do your research, you know, because you would be surprised. He's correct in that people are surprised when they actually, I don't know, I guess they hear from, I don't know. I don't know how they hear this kind of stuff. But I mean, in Canada, we have a really great sense of humor. We laugh at ourselves all the time. We poke fun at ourselves. And in some parts of the country, yeah, you need to. Because, yes, they have mega winter. And I've never experienced that myself. I've had, I think the longest we've had snow stay on the ground that I can remember in my lifetime, and you know, I'm not a young woman, is a week. That's it. And that was like, we come to a standstill here in BC, honestly. Well, I should say South BC, because if you go North BC, yeah, it's colder, much colder up there. So they do get snow. But for us, yeah, the whole city comes to standstill. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to drive in it. Albertans are always telling us, you know, you guys don't know how to drive in snow, and you come and you visit us, and they're not wrong. And, you know, I don't know. People are just silly. And their snow in Alberta is different than our snow, so when they come and we've got snow, it's really slippery. It's not like their snow at all. Their snow is very dry, and it pretty much, they get a lot of wind, so it pretty much blows off of the highway over to the side of the road. So it always looks like there's way more snow than there actually is. But their city, especially Calgary, their city is amazing for how quick they are at getting things cleaned up. And yeah, it doesn't make them stop what they're doing. But here, yeah, it does, because we haven't got a clue how to drive in this stuff. And, you know, like my son was saying, yeah, people here too, they can get that way. They think that, oh, I've got four-wheel drive, so, you know, it's okay for me to go fast or drive normal. And he said, you can't. You just can't there. But people do it, and, yeah. I mean, people will be silly everywhere. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. You know, you're going to find silly people everywhere that know better, and, yeah. Unfortunately. But that's the way of the world, right? So, anyway, you can see I just sort of made this a tuck. I figure I'll put something in it. Probably not that, but I don't want to stick it in right now because it'll stay. What else can I do? Oh yeah, there was a spot that I wanted to put a little word thingy on there. So if you've bought the kit, you know that these are different sizes and shapes. I don't know. I try and do that because I personally like, sometimes I want just small little words. Sometimes I want large ones. So I tried to include a few different sizes. Now, it's back here somewhere with something that I just worked on. Oh, it's this one. Yep. I wanted to put that there because I thought that would look nicer than just looking at the flap. I am so happy you guys are enjoying this. One of my commenters said it feels like I'm in their craft room with them, which is really cool. I've had a number of people comment on other videos saying, you know, about the thumbs down people, and you know what? Yeah, I don't even go there anymore because it is what it is. People are going to be the way they're going to be, and it doesn't really matter to me. I don't stress over it. So you guys shouldn't either. It's totally fine. There we go. I think that's better. That makes me happier. Okay, so we've done that, and this is done. I wonder, is that going to get lost in that pocket? Maybe. I wonder if I should put a little, I have this little tab here that's just sitting here begging to be used. And if I put it in the back, like so, I'm just going to ink it up a little darker though, because I don't like that color. It's a wee bit too pink. Now, what can I use? Maybe I'll use a little bit of Vintage Photo. Just to lighten that up a little, or darken that up a little, I should say. You ever find yourself saying things backwards? I do that all the time. I say right when I mean left. I say up when I mean down. I don't know if that's a sign of insanity or what. Could be. Could be. And in my head I said it right. It just came out wrong. It's just a sign of me getting older, I guess. All right. Yes, I like that. So, a little... I've been closing this completely because the tip doesn't end at the bottom, so the glue keeps coming out, and then it eventually sits up too high. I think that's why it dried out. So now I close it completely, but it's a real tight lid, so sometimes it's really difficult to get off. Okay. This is from the Tim Holtz, I think it's called Tiny Tags. Tiny Tags and something something. And it's the Biggs die, which is a steel rule die. That means you can cut, when it's a steel rule die, you can cut like leather and thick cardstock, and I have several of them and I absolutely love them. And they're made by Sizzix. That's who he designs for. One of the places anyway. And I love using them. Tiny Tags and Attachers, maybe? Something like that. Anyway, somebody will leave a comment on the name of that. And that one was going in here. Yeah, that's better. So even if it gets pushed all the way to the back, you've got a little bit of a tab there. And it does a little something for the page. Now, I'm debating, I've got this really beautiful script stamp, and it's a big one. And I thought I would use a pale pink maybe and just stamp in random spots on the page, some of the pages. I can't decide whether I want to do that or I want to do some lines. So yeah, tell me what you think. Maybe I should do some lines and some script. I know a lot of people like lines to journal on because they can't journal straight, which is me. So they end up, you know, but then really it's a scribble journal, so who cares, right? If it's crooked, it's crooked. At least in my opinion. So maybe I will do some light script. But maybe I'll, you know what? I have this page that I messed up. I clipped the corners. Let me find it. I clipped the corners and didn't realize that I had not shortened the page yet, so it's the wrong size. And of course I can't cut it off or I mess this up. So I wanted to just split it in half and put it in here somewhere, which I will do. But let's try. I'm just going to grab my stamp. And it should be really easy to find. Yes, it is. Okay, is that the one? Yes. So, this is the stamp. And it's a Heidi Swapp. Does it have a name? Yes, I think it does. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Or maybe it does in the front. Let's get that out. Nope, it's just called Stamp. Heidi Swapp. I can't see a name. Maybe you guys can read something I'm not reading. But it comes with its own block, so you don't need a block to put it on. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this stamp. Now I'm going to do one side, one half maybe, in the lipstick. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of paper. If you're unsure, before you go ahead and stamp it off onto just a scrap paper. I'm using the Distress. And I'm just going to plop it down. Okay, so that's pretty bright. I'm not going to use that one. Now, there's my cloth. I just use a dollar store microfiber cloth to wipe my stamps off. Okay, let's try this pink. The only thing about this pink is that you do have to heat set it. But we'll try it. Oh, I better do it up here just in case there's still ink somewhere that I missed. Oh, that's much nicer. Yep. Yep, I'm going to do that. But I don't think I want it full. Let's just randomly put some ink down. Okay. Now, let's go here. Okay. That looks nice. I think this is one of my favorite stamps. I really love it. There we go. Now let's put a little down here because I'm going to cut it this way. So let's see, I'm going to do some along there. Like so. There we go. Now just make sure you wipe your table. All right. It's very chalky feeling, really, is how I can describe that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that. I think I will do that on some of the pages, not all of them. Yeah, that's nice. Now, I think I'm gonna leave that part because this is actually going to be a flip. So let's cut it so that I know that. Hang on, I gotta move this first or I'm gonna end up with ink all over me. And get that out of the way. I don't know what I'm sitting on. Oh, yep, I do. There we go. Now this should be 8.5. Yeah. So 4 1/4. It always looks longer to me. Just going to put a little bend. Okay, it is right. Just looks wrong, but it isn't. Okay, now I want to do this. Okay. There. Now I could do that. One in and one out. Like so. That'll go somewhere in the book. I'm not exactly sure where yet. In the meantime, I'll just wipe this up. Because I'll do all the stamping last. Probably won't end up filming any of that because, yeah, it's just stamping. It's funny how it doesn't have a name on that. Unless, like I say, I'm blind as a bat. Stamp block included. Pink Paisley, that's who distributed it. Just says where you can see them, made in China. I don't see a name at all. But now you know what it looks like. It's the one that says Flora on it. And I have seen them a lot of places. I'm trying to think where it was that I saw it was really inexpensive. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say because it's probably a knockoff. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And set that aside. Now, these are the things I have left. I have that and that. And those are... this, and this, and this. Oh, and this one. Okay. The rest are basically tags and embellishments. So, I think I'll put it in the center here. Might stick out too far. It does. I'm going to have to put it at the front. Because I'm not trimming it now. Yeah, I'll put it here. So, is that upside down? Yeah. That one goes like that, and that one goes like that. Yeah, that's good. Did I do? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. I have all of these, so I'm past this point. Now, let's see. I thought I had another one of these somewhere. Oh, I did. Right here. Okay. I really like this one. Sometimes when you die cut, you get the little hair. It looks like hair. It's paper. You can just use a very fine sanding block on it to remove it. I'm a little lazy that way. I just use my fingernail. That one I already did. Okay. So I have those now. I'm not going to do anything there. What I could do I can put that on a hinge so you don't lose any of the page. Do I like it there? That's pretty. Add something to that. That'd be nice. Well, that'll take forever to cut out. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That one's difficult. Not difficult, it's just time consuming. Other ones I think aren't. See, I like these too. Maybe if I did overlapped some of those. Oh, need different scissors though. So my experiment went well for, I did that short video, that's episode 7? Is it 7? So this must be episode 8. What did I say? I don't know. I did a short video. I don't know, it's 17 minutes or something like that. I wanted to do one that was, like I said before, my camera, after I hit 30 minutes, it breaks, and then you can continue to film, but there's a break. So now you've got 2 videos. And in order to do it in one go, then I have to join them. Well, I went online, and I actually think I left a link for the joiner. Well, I haven't had much success with it. I feel the quality of my video just isn't there. And I have an HD camera, so it should be very clear. And it is when I first film it, and it is if I flip it. But if I join it, then it loses its quality. And like I did some research on, you know, what format to put it in so that you don't lose any of the clarity of your video. I keep wanting to say film, but that major dates me, doesn't it? And anyway, the one that I posted the link to, I'm not happy with it. So I will try and remember to post the link of this newest one. It's also a free one. And as long as, how can I say this? Did I join it first or flipped them? I think I flipped, yeah, I flipped the video first, both of them, and then I joined it with this new software. And I haven't posted it because it's already up there, so I'm not going to repost the same video. But huge difference to the one that I ended up posting. Well, I don't want to take that one down because there's a lot of comments on it, and I don't want to be rude and, you know, erase your comments. But going forward, I will use this software, and hopefully that will be better, because honestly, if you can't see what I'm doing, what is the point? Now, I don't want to get too close to, you know, my work either, because then you only see exactly what's in my hands, and that's no good. So, yeah, it's a fine line. I know there's some people out there, they know what they're doing, because their videos clearly have been flipped, because you can't work with your camera behind you. You can't see. I also can't see if I use my iPhone. It does beautiful videos, but I can't see what I'm doing when I'm filming, which is why I don't use the iPhone. And I don't want to go out and buy another camera, because I don't think that's the issue. And I know there are some cameras out there with a pause feature, but then I was told, no, they don't like it if I pause, because they miss all the little details. It's very hard to please everyone, you know. I mean, there's going to be people out there who, you know, think I should do it a certain way, and that's all good. We all have our own opinions, right? So I do my best, but I really want the quality better than it has been. So I do apologize for the quality of the last few, because I don't feel like they're great. But I'm working at it, you guys. I'm working at it. I have to tell you, I'm just itching to get some purging done in this house. We have to start with our garage. You ever notice that, right? The garage is the place that everything ends up, whether you want to keep it or not. So, of course, that means I need to pull my car out while we work on it. And now we're into fall. We're going to have a lot of windy, wet days. But today is a gorgeous day. Of course, then when it is a gorgeous day, you don't want to be spending it cleaning your house. Yeah, you just can't win, right? Just have to bite the bullet and do it. Ken came home from the gym wiped. He'd done a little bit too much, I think. Trying to work off what we ate when we were on the island. He's done so well, you guys. I mean, he's a big guy, you know, like, he's 6'5", and, you know, we've both struggled with weight. Of course, on him, it doesn't show as much as me, because I'm only 5'1", and he can lose it when he puts his mind to it. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, it doesn't come off. Such is life, you know. I'm not going to stress over stuff like that. I'm healthy. I'm very healthy. And that's what really matters. But he had gotten really large because he'd had his knee injury, and that took a toll, because you can't walk too much and you can't exercise to get it off, and so that was really hard for him. And then, of course, when you can do all the exercises you should do, you are back in that lazy mode, right? But he's been determined to get it off, because it does help his knees a lot when he loses the weight, obviously. You don't have all that pressure. And, you know, we're planning our trip again next year, so I can't believe it's less than 7 months away already. It's, you know, I always have good intentions. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get it off. And, yeah. I seem to manage 20 pounds and then nothing. It just won't move. But, like I say, doesn't stop me from having a good time. So he's doing really, really well. He's been going to the gym a lot, which is great because he has to exercise that muscle that runs behind the knee, and that helps. I mean, he should have had his knee replaced years ago, but they kept saying, no, we're not going to do it because you're too young. And this kind of surgery lasts, if you're fortunate, it lasts about 15 years. Well, he can't get it done again because the damage was so severe that he'd have nothing for them to attach the artificial knee to a second time around. So we're holding off as long as we can, because once that gives up, I mean, he'll probably be in a wheelchair. So we want to avoid that for as long as possible. And, yeah, I mean, you know, we all have something, right? But, you know, he never complains, ever complains about it. But it does mean that every 6 months he goes in for cortisone just so he can walk. And, you know, for being a young guy, right? I mean, I know some of you out there who are a lot younger than we are think, ooh, 58's not young. But yeah, it really is for these kinds of things. Unfortunately, he was pretty athletic, and that's one of the ways he injured himself, was floor hockey. The other one, his other knee, so he's got matching knees, basically. The other knee he did at work. And that was before we got married. I think we were just engaged, or I don't even think we were engaged yet. Maybe just. Anyway, yeah, that was a bad one. I think that's actually the knee that needs replacing. One knee he's had surgery on, but the other knee, they just casted it. They didn't do the surgery. Yeah, that was a funny story. I had to pick him up at the hospital, and I drove A 1973 Rabbit, so that's really dating me, right? It wasn't new, so I think it was 1981. Yeah, probably 1981. So my car was kind of old. It was, my dad had given it to me, and anyway, I had to pick him up. Well, he had a cast on his knee, so he couldn't bend his knee. And I told you how tall he is? Yeah. So he broke my seat. He couldn't bend his knee. So trying to get in and push himself in, he ended up snapping the back of the seat. Yeah, he wasn't a happy camper, let's say that. Anyway, it was kind of funny. I can laugh now, you know, but at the time. But like I say, he's just so great. He honestly, he never complains about it. And it doesn't stop him from doing stuff. And I know I've said before, I love having him home, and that is the absolute truth. I love having him home. It's so nice because for many years, you know, it was just me and my son. Because my husband is a real hard worker, and oh, that's pretty. I think I should do that third one up top, maybe. Let's cut it out and see. I know this is boring. Boring. I know so many people love this fussy cutting, but I've said before, I do not like it. But if I don't put it, you know, at least try it. If I don't like it, fine, at least it's cut out. And I will use it somewhere else. These are the only things that I didn't cut out because I looked and then went, nah. I'll do it when I want them. I should have just made myself cut them all out. So I'm leaning towards the next book being softly steampunk. I don't know if any of you have seen the kit, but I had a request from a subscriber if I could do, because I do have a steampunk kit already, but they wanted one that was on the feminine side. So I thought, okay, well, that'll be a challenge. I love steampunk. I just think it's super cool. I don't like the creepy part of it, you know, like I don't do the skulls and stuff like that in there. But I do like the science part of it. That appeals to me. And I thought, well, that'll be a real challenge because for me, steampunk is easy to design when it's masculine. But when it's feminine, it's much harder for me. And not a lot of sources for a feminine, you know, look. I did just download some graphics from Graphics Fairy. I'm on their premium site, which means I pay a yearly subscription for her kits. And there was a new steampunk one, which I was thrilled about. Of course, it's after the fact, but that's okay. I'll use it to design maybe some more ephemera or maybe a whole nother kit. I don't know. One that will supplement one or the other at some point. Right now, I'm just, like I said, I'm not designing too much right now. Because I'm really far behind in my books, but I did sort of have an idea, so I played around a little bit. I'll show you the page. It's very muted and soft with zero theme. It's just, I'm just going to be doing flowers on it. So it's just basically going to be journal pages. I'm not sure. I'll probably do some ephemera, but I'll have to get a few more pages together before I decide. The kit's going to be called Treasures. I don't know why. I just named the front of the book because I started out with the cover. I had this really neat stamp that I made, and I loved it, so I thought, oh, I'll make a front cover, and it just kind of went from there. So I named the cover Treasures, which is why I'm naming the kit Treasures. I just thought it was kind of appropriate because when you journal, usually the things you write about are treasures to you, right? So that's why I named it that. I did buy this awesome journal when I was on Vancouver Island. I told you about Goats on the Roof. Well, they have a cute little, it's a grocery store slash, like tourist type things. And they had some little tiny journals, which are super cute. My girlfriend, who goes over quite often, she said she always buys a new one every year. And but they had others that were larger, and yeah, I think I'm gonna like 3 better. So the reason I bought it is because it's leather. The cover is leather, but inside it's got one of those little tiny binder, where you can take your paper in and out. And I thought, well, how perfect is that? Because once I've used all the papers, or I can use some of the papers in my work because they're like a craft color. And the cover is stunning. Like, I don't know, they've printed like vintage birds on the front of it, and on this leather, and it's soft, and I love soft journals. So, it's much like people, like my husband has a thing about pens. I don't know how many pens that guy's got, but it's mega pens. And I'm one of those people, I love going into stationery stores. There's just something about, I don't know, looking at tape and rulers and stuff. I don't know why, but I just love it. And there's something about journals. I mean, I have tons of notebooks and stuff like that. I can't seem to not buy them. But I thought this one would be really, really pretty because I can use it over and over again and journal in it, and then I can make covers of my own and rebind them. I thought that'd be kind of a neat idea. Okay, there's one. Let's do different color. Let's do this. So I use this pen instead of the Wink of Stella because I find Wink of Stella extremely expensive and they run out really fast. Whereas I've had this pen for years now, and I use it quite often, and it doesn't look any different than the Wink of Stella. So if you want to save yourself some money, I think this is a couple bucks compared to Wink of Stella's 6 something here. It's ridiculously priced. And then this one I think I'm going to combine. So I'll I don't know if you guys can see that very well. I should telephoto in a little bit. Might be enough. And I hope the lighting's good. I don't have the overhead on because it is sunny today. And that just might be a little bit of overkill. Boy, sometimes I look at the video and I think, wow, that doesn't look anything like what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's all about lighting. I need to do a little bit of research into that. See if I can get some better lighting. Especially for winter time. Very shimmery. I hope that's showing for you because it's really shimmery. This one too. So when I print this sheet out, I always print on paper because I generally glue them right down and it eliminates some of the bulk when you print it on paper. You don't need to print them on cardstock. Okay, now, let's see. In here. And one there. And there. Okay. Now, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Get this out of the way. Now, this, I'm just looking for a piece of scrap, you guys. Give me a sec. Yes, I don't have any of that particular paper. Or do I? Ah, I do. Okay. So, turn that off. Now you fold the part that you want to show, you fold to the inside. And I'm just gonna see when I place it on the page where I want to cut it. This here. Let's see. Okay, what did I do it? There it is. I don't want it to stick out too much. That's going to work. So from there to there, we need to glue it. Hopefully I put that on there the right. No, I didn't. Darn. Have that bird's crooked. Come on, you. Cooperate. There we go. That's better. Okay, I lost a little paper there. And I'll fix that later. Okay. Maybe I'll pull it away. Nope, it's gotta hang off or it won't open properly. Right there. So you don't lose your journal spot. I do this when I don't want to bend whatever I'm attaching to the page. So that works pretty good. Okay. What did I do with that little... If I do that, you see, I can add a tag. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So, I don't want glue there. So you can get it in and out like that, but it will hold the tag. I like it. Oh, what did I do with the... Okay. What time is it? Well, it's not too bad. How much time have I been recording for? Let's see. Oh, an hour and a half. So that's probably long enough, you guys. Otherwise it takes forever to upload the videos. So I'll probably just continue to work, and then, you know, I'll show you something else. I really want to get this signature done so that I can actually start the cover, which will be fun. That I will film. So thanks for watching, you guys. As usual, I will be back. Talk to you later. Bye.